Welcome back to patreon.com/the Derrick Lamon Experience. Of course, your one-stop shop for your gaming news. Kind of a slow week, I'm not going to lie. Had some stories and I'm like, I think this is going to be a short show. It's not going to be as long as the normal show would be. So, I guess I don't know if I'm apologizing in advance or what the hell's going on. I don't know. Sit back and take a listen, I guess. Anyway, of course, this is your one-stop shop for your gaming news. Top story, I suppose. Well, let's go here. This comes from PCGamer.com, and the reason it's in this show is, well, number one, it's gaming, but number two, it kind of has something to do with PlayStation and their initiative to the PC. So this again comes from PCGamer.com. Sony isn't giving up on PSN account requirement for PC games. Company's president says it's necessary so people can safely play its games. This is very interesting. Let's see. It's fair to say that Sony's insistence on requiring a PlayStation Network account for PC versions of its games is not widely popular. Don't expect Sony to back off on it anytime soon, though. Speaking in today's investors' call, Sony President, Chief Operating Officer, and Chief Financial Officer Hiroki Totoki said, quote, PSN integration is necessary in order to ensure everyone can safely enjoy its games. We have learned a lot, Totoki said. The way to face the issues regarding PC, for instance, the PlayStation accounts that we have offered by offering them, for instance, sometimes that tends to invite pushback. But for the live service games, in order to maintain order of the gaming so that anybody can enjoy the game safely, we need to create an environment conducive to that and, of course, enjoying the game freely. Quote, having some restrictions, we may not call it a rule, but to ask the users and gamers to follow the manner, and that balance is very important. We have to continue to seek the best way to achieve this. So this quote was translated from Japanese to English on the fly by a human translator, to be clear, and it's a little rough, but the point is clear enough. Sony wants to maintain some kind of control over its games, and the PSN requirement is the easy way to do that. Also tremendously unpopular with PC gamers, unfortunately. The most obvious example of this would be Helldivers 2, of course. Once they announced that, you would need to sign it with the PSN account, it blew a lot of people off because there's a lot of places, in the world where you can't have a PlayStation Network account. You just can't. So it looks like they're not going to reverse course on this. You are going to need to be on PlayStation Network for a lot of their games going forward. If it is a game that has a multiplayer, like, let's say it's a game that has, a campaign, story mode and all that, and then there's like a multiplayer extension to it. To play the multiplayer, you will need to be signed in. To play the campaign, I don't think you have to sign in. But to play the multiplayer, you absolutely will have to be signed in to PlayStation Network. They're not going to reverse course on this. They seem to be pretty steadfast in their ways and their beliefs on how this is the safest thing for their online community. Don't even get me started on Japanese businessmen. I've read Console Wars a couple of times. I'm actually reading it again now. And this is very much, well, not this particular practice, but just them being steadfast in their beliefs. Look at Nintendo. Like, if you've never read Console Wars, I would encourage you to read it. Nintendo just is not willing to budge on a lot of things, right? So, this doesn't surprise me. It was completely expected. I guess we're going to see how this works for them. But yeah, I'm not at all surprised by this. And I don't think anybody else should be, especially if you've been paying attention for the last year or so, almost a year. And other news, so we still don't have a release date for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. But we're getting little tidbits of information every now and then. This comes from InsiderGaming.com, our friends over there. It says Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is an ambitious remake of the legendary stealth action title released on PlayStation 2 in 2004. It has been in development at Konami for some time, and amidst ongoing content drops, including screenshots and teaser trailers, it was revealed that it will be released in full in 2025. It was supposed to be this year. They said 2024 at some point. We all thought it was coming this fall or holiday season, and unfortunately it's not. In a recent interview, MGS series producer Noriaki Akamura revealed one of the driving reasons why Konami resolved to make one of the most iconic games in the series. Number one, everybody's like, well, why didn't they do Metal Gear Solid first? Why are they starting with Metal Gear Solid 3? Because chronologically, this is the first game in the series. As far as the character, like, Metal Gear Solid takes place after Snake Eater. This is the very first game in the series. This is where everything really starts. As far as in terms of release, you actually go back as far as like the Nintendo with Metal Gear games. But this is, if you want the story told correctly from beginning to end, which we haven't gotten to the end yet because we don't know what they're going to do with the Metal Gear IP, but from the very beginning of the story, this would be the beginning of the story, just saying. In one of the most recent iteration of Play Magazine and circulated by Games Radar, Noriaki Akamura sat down to talk about all things Metal Gear Solid. He revealed one of the core reasons why Konami decided to remake Metal Gear Solid 3 more than 20 years after its first release. Quote, one of the things that really sparked us to do the remake in general is because we realized that a lot of the newer, younger generation of gamers aren't familiar with the Metal Gear series anymore. Well, yeah, duh. Here's the thing. A lot of kids play a lot of fucking Fortnite. I can tell you this because I have a kid who plays a lot of fucking Fortnite. My nieces and nephews, everybody's playing Fortnite. Even very super duper casual gamers, they're playing Fortnite because they can jump right in and the mechanics are very, very basic. Games like this, you can't just jump in. You have to really want to play a Metal Gear game, right? A lot of games. So, yeah, the younger crowd, they're not aware of this. And a lot of them weren't even alive when these games were at their peak. So, there's that. It was basically, quote, it was basically our mission, our duty to kind of continue making sure the series lives on for future generations. After all, we leave behind much more than just DNA, as Solid Snake would say. But again, who is Solid Snake? In the 2000s, Metal Gear Solid 3 became one of the most beloved games and looped the story in time again. It felt so ahead of its time, boasting an immersive, lengthy story, an open-ended operating system, and a unique camouflage, healing, and survival mechanics. The team at Konami tried to release a survival horror MGS game called Metal Gear Survive in 2018. It was a fucking flop, but it was a monumental flop, says the article. It was a huge flop. Huge. It has been 10 years since the last Metal Gear Solid game, there being so much... that game, there being so much that game before means it's daunting to a newcomer who just wants to get involved and see what the fuss is all about. Where do you even begin with a franchise this expansive? There are almost 40 years of history wrapped up in Metal Gear Solid. As I said, it goes back to the NES, and next year will be the 40th anniversary of the NES in the United States. It got to the US in '85, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm happy they're doing it. Number one, I think if you have a game that has stood the test of time and it's like it's a beloved game in a franchise and the people have shown the capacity and the want and the need for it, like if you have new hardware where you could do things that you wanted to do initially in the game but you couldn't because of the limitations of the hardware, why the fuck not? Every time, like, I'm just screaming at Nintendo, like, why don't we have Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask in the Breath of the Wild engine, right? Because it would be perfect because you have Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and those are the only two games we're going to get apparently in that engine or in that particular series, right? Or for The Legend of Zelda. And then look at the N64, right? You had Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. And those are the only two games that look like that in the Zelda series. So why not just do that again? I don't get it. Like Ocarina of Time was the first game, if I'm not mistaken, it was the first game to get a perfect 10 from IGN, like before they were huge IGN, but again, first game given a perfect score. It is one of the most quintessential Zelda games there are, so it's like, why would you not do that? For the same reason, when the PlayStation 2 came out, it was like, oh, there's much more power. I wonder, like, what a newer version of Final Fantasy VII would look like running on this hardware. And then I remember when Final Fantasy X came out, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is what we could get Cloud and Barrett and Tifa and the whole party looking like this, right? And then eventually when we saw the remake trailer for the PlayStation 4, we're like, well, fuck, finally. Because remember, they teased it with the PlayStation 3. They like showed us that like sizzle trailer, and it was like, oh, is this a real thing? And they're like, no, it's just to show you what the power of the PlayStation 3 is. And everybody was so upset. And then I think they knew by the time they got to the PlayStation 4, like, we should really stop fucking around with people and just do this, right? And they also felt like we're getting on in age, and if this is going to be done, this is the time to do it. I still want that Final Fantasy IX, like, remake or remaster, whatever the hell they're doing, but I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I have no problem with old games being, remade. Look at Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 4. 5 is still, it's not exactly modern, but it's more modern than those were. Anybody who's saying that they don't need to go back and do the original Resident Evil is crazy. It's like, oh, there's a version. Like, yeah, from the fucking GameCube HD remaster. Like, that's the one, if you go to the PlayStation store or go on your Xbox into the store, that version, that's the GameCube HD remaster. And it's like, has fucking tank controls. Nobody wants to play that game. I literally tried like a year and a half ago, and it's like, no, this is fucking bad. This is bad, and nobody wants to play this. So please, can we get a remake of the original Resident Evil? Please, and fucking thank you. So I don't know. I'm 100% for this. I wish we had a fucking release date. But this just means that 2025 is going to be a great year for gaming. And not for nothing, since it doesn't look like we're going to get Wolverine next year, well, this is just another good game to go in place of something else that was supposed to come. But we are getting Grand Theft Auto 6 the fall of next year, so 25 is going to be a good year for gaming, in my opinion. I'm just saying. In other news, speaking of Grand Theft Auto and the good folks over at Rockstar Games, this comes from Nintendo Life. Grand Theft Auto Trilogy receives a surprise update, and here's what's included. So the patch has officially gone live for the Switch. That was the last one that needed to be done. Rockstar's official support page has now been updated, and the good news is the same patch has been applied to Grand Theft Auto Trilogy for the Nintendo Switch. Patches recorded as update notes 1.112, and once again you can expect numerous fixes and improvements, as well as classic lighting mode, which restores the look and feel of the sky in the original games. Original article: Grand Theft Auto Trilogy wasn't in the best state when it originally launched, but the development team has rolled out multiple updates since then. With this in mind, the game has now received a surprise update. The catch seems to be only available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, and again, that's been updated as of the time of recording to include the Switch as well. Interestingly, though, it adds a classic lighting mode, which puts certain aspects of the game in line with the original titles. So, a content creator and Rockstar Intel writer known on socials as Synth Potato, that's my guy, shout out Synth Potato, has shared a breakdown of this update, detailing 10 of the biggest changes in this new patch. Number 1, classic lighting. Number 2, fog is back. Grove Street games removed from studio list and main menu. They put, like, Grove Street Games fucked up this game, but Rockstar should have never released it in the state that it was in, but they wanted to get it out for the GTA 3 anniversary. The problem is this: before a game goes gold, you usually have to go through tremendous amounts of quality assurance to make sure the game is in a playable state. That game was not in a playable state when it released. I don't really care much for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, so I played a lot of GTA 3 and a lot of GTA Vice City. And they were very, very bugged when they came out. But of course, I'm a Rockstar purist. I remember playing GTA 3 and Vice City on the PlayStation 2 because they weren't available on the Xbox yet. So initially, when I'm buying a Rockstar game, Grand Theft Auto to be specific, I'm going to play that on PlayStation. If it's a Rockstar game I love enough, I'm going to buy it everywhere. I have Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. I have the original Red Dead Redemption on Xbox and PlayStation. I'm going to get it on PC as well. Why? Because I love the game. But it's always, PlayStation is always going to be the first option for me when it comes to Rockstar titles. Let's see. Combat changes. Characters are mostly fixed. That's interesting. Parallax interiors are gone. Crouching is fixed. Different weather. Actually different. You can now pause in cutscenes. You can fly through the clouds. And again, yeah, it's been patched. The Switch version received the patch. I haven't booted it up. I still want a physical copy of this game because I thought the box art was really dope, how they combined the ladies from all three games on there. I would love to have a poster of this or something. But, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to jump back in after the update. It's like, here's the thing. The way that they touted this is that they had updated it enough, the controls, where it was going to feel the same. Now, there is a weapon wheel, but it doesn't, like, I'm thinking, oh, so it's gonna shoot, like, you're gonna shoot with the triggers on your controller, like Red Dead Redemption, like GTA 4, GTA 5, whatever, and it's just not the fucking case. So I was just like, I'm not gonna say I feel lied to, but I'm just like, it wasn't really worth it. It wasn't really worth it. But I do still want a physical copy of this game. No matter if it's Xbox, PlayStation, or the Nintendo Switch. It'll probably never even be taken out of the cellophane wrapping, but I do want a copy just for nostalgia reasons. But you know, I'm fucking weird like that. I don't know. In other news, this comes from PushSquare.com. Keep your eyes and ears open. Single-player Western RPG from Lies of P publisher will be the one to watch on the PlayStation 5. Korean publisher NeoWiz demonstrated its commitment to interesting ideas with the excellent Lies of P, and has just signed a deal with Polish startup Zakazan to publish its new single-player Western RPG. The game is said to take place in a remote mining town where you assume the role of a sheriff tasked with solving a case that threatens to unsettle the local community. It's been worked on by former CD Projekt Red and 11-bit Studios talent, among others. CEO and founder Jan Barwick said, quote, "We found a great understanding of our vision with NeoWiz, who got excited about our debut title the minute we showed them the demo. In conversations that followed, they never try to steer us away from our principles, but rather to make sure we stick to our guns. It's clear both sides understand that games can become important to people on a personal level, making them both valuable works of culture and good business." NeoWiz's Sung Chol Kim added, quote, "When we first met Zakazan, we felt an immediate kinship around their passion for developing projects that profoundly captivate audiences. Their upcoming Neo Western RPG will be a key addition to our portfolio and reflects our ambition to build lasting franchises across PC and consoles. Together, we will create a brand that unifies quality and storytelling for gamers to cherish for years to come." Obviously, it's still in extremely early days, with just a single piece of embedded artwork shared publicly thus far. Conceptually, this does sound like a really good idea. We're excited to see how it evolves over the coming years. This will definitely be one to keep an eye on. So we're a ways away from like this game actually releasing. Looking at this artwork, it definitely looks like concept art. So if this is just what they have, we got quite a fucking while. I don't know. In other news, and this comes from VideoGamesChronicle.com, it looks like Astrobot is getting even more DLC cameos. The last of 5 free DLC speedrun stages for the game is released today, but the game credits were recently updated to include references to other characters who have yet to feature. Each of the DLC stages has added new cameo bots, but not every IP listed in the credits has been featured in the game yet. For a while now, the credits have listed Rayman, Beyond Good and Evil, Assassin's Creed, and Croc, Legend of the Gobos. None of these games have been featured as cameo bots in the game yet. However, as spotted on the Astrobot Reddit page, the credits were recently updated again to add the line Tomba Special Edition 2024 Whoopee Camp, all rights reserved, published by Limited Run Games. This means there are now at least 5 IPs yet to be accounted for. Given the game's DLC stages only appear to feature 2 cameo bots, they almost certainly won't appear in today's DLC stage. During a visit to Team Asobi in September, VGC was told the game was initially planned to get 5 speedrun levels and 10 challenge levels. While the last of the speedrun levels arrives today, no further information has been shared on the challenge levels, given that there will be some IPs accounted for. However, it would appear that at least some of these challenge stages are on the way at some point. So you're getting more Astrobot DLC. Congrats on that. Yeah, I don't like speedrun trophies. So I'm not going to say anything. She's not here, so I don't know. I'm getting this for my daughter for Christmas because she's got a PS5 now, and she loves Astrobot. I platinumed Astro's Playroom, but I'm not going to platinum this game because I don't want speed. I guarantee there's a speedrun trophy, and I hate fucking speedruns, so it is what it is. I just realized, I was like, yeah, I'll just borrow it when she's not playing her PlayStation. And I'm like, I don't have a disc drive because I have a PS5 Pro, but I do have another, launch PlayStation 5, so it is what it is. In other news, Sophie Turner of Game of Thrones is reportedly in talks to play Lara Croft in Prime Video's Tomb Raider series, so congratulations to her if that does happen. Let's see. Oh, Microsoft reveals its new marketing campaign, which I thought was incredible. Like, this is tone deaf. If you were only part of the Xbox ecosystem and nothing else, why? How do you sell a box when you tell people, hey, this is an Xbox, this is an Xbox? This campaign is crazy. Microsoft has revealed its latest marketing campaign designed to highlight the numerous ways Xbox games can be played. The new slogan, quote, "This is an Xbox," consists of humorous series of statements pointing out things that aren't an Xbox, such as bento boxes and bus stops, as well as devices that can play Xbox games. These include mobile phones, laptops, Amazon Fire TV sticks, and the ROG Ally handheld. Quote, "This is an Xbox," invites people to play with Xbox across multiple devices and screen. Xbox Marketing Senior Director Craig McNary said on the official Xbox Wire blog, Quote, it showcases the evolution of Xbox as a platform that extends across devices with bold, iconic, fun visuals and a lighthearted tone. Launching today, the campaign will come to life in a variety of ways. This includes an immersive takeover taking place in a number of major cities, including San Francisco, Atlanta, Chicago, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, London, New York, and Berlin, where, quote, this is not an Xbox has been labeled in unexpected places. Xbox has also partnered with a number of similar sounding brands to provide other entertaining variations on the theme. For example, a partnership with the Happy Egg Co. in the UK allows it to show their product, followed by an Xbox Series X with the slogan, this is an Xbox, this is an Xbox. Oh, that's punny. You're probably reading this on an Xbox-enabled device that can be powered on with the help of cloud gaming for the Xbox app for PC, McNary added, and that's the inspiration for our new This is an Xbox campaign. How long before Microsoft says they're done and they sell off Xbox? Like, it feels like we're getting increasingly close every time that something like, oh my god, this is weird. This is weird, and when they say that console sales don't matter, at this point I kind of believe them, because you can't sell your box if you're doing shit like this. You're effectively telling people, you don't need to buy our box. You can play it on, a PC, a mobile phone, this, that, and the third, which is cool. Having options is cool. But at the same time, I don't know. You're basically encouraging people not to buy your hardware. Like, you're really in telling people, hey, you don't need to buy our hardware. And this is strange. So I don't know what their plan is. Like, if this goes so far, when does the board at Microsoft and their investors say, why are you doing R&D on another console when we don't need it? Just make these games run on all these things you listed that were not Xboxes. It's just, I'm telling you, it's not a great idea. Speaking of Xbox, Avowed's new release date has been confirmed. For whatever reason, I can't get to it. Let me refresh the page. Oh, it's still loading. Well, not sure what's going on there, but let's see if I can find that. Because that's very strange. Avowed, okay. Avowed arrives February 18th, 2025. Obsidian Entertainment's upcoming fantasy RPG launches on February 18th of 2025. The pre-orders beginning today for Xbox Series X and S, Xbox app on Windows, Battle.net, and Steam, or play a day one with Game Pass. Game Pass Ultimate, by the way. Premium Edition offers up to 5 days early access to premium skin packs and access to the Avowed digital art book and soundtrack. Customize your experience with various accessibility options, including a third-person view, remappable controls, and adjustable text size. We're just a few months away from the launch of Obsidian Entertainment's first-person fantasy RPG, Avowed, and everyone at the studio couldn't be more thrilled to invite players to experience the mystery and allure of the Living Lands. Arriving again on February 18th of 25, Avowed brings you to a previously unseen region from the unforgettable world of Era, first introduced in the award-winning Pillars of Eternity. In your role as an envoy alongside your companions, you'll uncover hidden truths and navigate delicate situations where every choice shapes the fate of the land and the people living here. So that's now coming on February 18th of 2025. Something else is coming around that time, and I can't remember what it is. God, I can't for the life of me. Oh, Assassin's Creed Shadows got pushed to Valentine's Day of 25. So, yeah, I just, I feel that we're going to end up in a space where there's only one major console maker at this level, the Microsoft and PlayStation level, because Nintendo has shown they just don't really care that much about power. Back when they were battling Sega and they were being called the kiddie box, and Sega was being called the box for teenagers and what everybody wants to play, the cool box, they cared about having more power, about having more RAM, about better graphics. They don't care anymore. They really don't care anymore. And Microsoft is doing everything but actually waving the white flag, but they're pretty goddamn close to waving it. So we're going to find ourselves in a position where, like, the best place to play things might be Sony PlayStation. Just saying. Lastly, Apple Arcade reveals its festival lineup, including 4 Square Enix RPGs. Final Fantasy IV and Trails of Mana are among the games coming to subscribers. Final Fantasy IV 3D Remake and Final Fantasy IV The After Years will be arriving on December 9th, while Final Fantasy Plus and Trials of Mana Plus will arrive a month later on January 9th. Plus versions of games on Apple Arcade are titles that are already available in the standard iOS App Store, but remove any monetization present in those versions, be that an upfront price, in-game purchases, or ads. For example, Final Fantasy IV 3D Remake is currently on the App Store priced at $14.99, but the Plus version will be included as part of Apple Arcade subscription with no extra cost. In terms of other games coming to Apple Arcade, December 5th we'll see the release of Talking Tom Blast Park Boggle Arcade Edition, Pac-Man 256 Plus, Hot Wheels Race Off Plus, Barbie Color Creations Plus, and Little Cities Diorama Apple Vision Pro. Then on January 9th, Gears and Goo Vision Pro, Three Kingdoms Heroes, Rodeo Stampede Plus, and it's literally just Mowing Plus will be released alongside Final Fantasy Plus and Trails of Mana Plus. Recent Apple Arcade releases include NBA 2K25 Arcade Edition, NFL Retro Bowl 25, and Balatro Plus. I still feel like at some point Apple's going to dip their toe in, just being completely honest, or maybe they're going to push for more gaming on the Vision Pro. I don't know, but when you ensure that Macs and iPhones and iPads can play AAA titles just like a PlayStation or an Xbox, you're creeping ever so closer to that situation. And anybody who tells you otherwise is out of their fucking minds. It's right here in our fucking faces. Point blank period. So, I don't know. Anyway, that's all I've got for you guys. Again, pretty slow news week. We're getting closer and closer to the actual holidays, so this is to be expected. Video Game Awards is December 12th. We still don't have nominations. I don't know what is going on, but the minute that they become available, I will make sure you guys know the link to vote for them, and I will actually be voting as well. I'm going to end this like I end everything else, of course. Believe in yourself first and foremost, because if you don't believe in yourself, of course, nobody else will believe in you. As always, my name is Derrick Lamon Jackson. That is my time. Y'all have a good one. Peace out.